I'm going to show you the biggest mistake Vapi AI developers make when they're trying to white label Vapi AI in Twilio and also how to solve it. Many people watch my videos white label Vapi because it's part of their pricing strategy, their pricing structure. There's a certain number of ways that you could sell agents to your clients. You could either do it for a setup fee, you charge a fixed price for building the agent and then everything is hands off. Or another way to do it is to build the agent at a lower reduced fee, but actually mark up the usage cost. For example, your AI agent costs 15 cents per minute. You're going to mark it up to 20, 25 cents. I've heard people say $1 a minute, crazy things like that. But that's something that you can actually do, and it's a reasonable pricing strategy. So in order to do that, you do, of course, have to white label Vapi. And that's something that people are really good at these days. And they have seen many things, but one thing they actually skip out on is the webhook that you use in Twilio. So Twilio sends all kinds of requests to the Vapi server, and you need to white label that. Or else, if your client is going to want to log in to Twilio and see that URL, is going to run, it can just do a quick Vapi AI Google and is going to see exactly which calling handler you are using. So that's the problem that we're going to solve and recognize in this video. Now, how are we going to set this up? Now, in order to get started, I always, with every video, make some blueprints, some resources that you can find in members.vliegeo.com. Now, for this specific video, we're going to need just two blueprints, and it's going to be in a white label Twilio logs resources. You can go to members.vliegeo.com, make a quick account there. There's a bunch of other stuff that you can find here and browse through. We're nearing 1,000 members. I haven't actually checked. We're perhaps even above or through 1,000 members on this platform, which I think is amazing. It's awesome. So be sure to sign up. And if you're signing up, you might as well join the partner portals. That's something that will allow you to be found by people in this community, but also a place where you can reach out to people in this community. You can just go to partner portal, click a random account, go to the second tab, and then reach out to them directly. So that's something you can do. For example, if you have a project that you don't know quite exactly how to solve, then you can find someone by their skills or by their language, and you can reach out to them. And people are actually reached out to. So be sure to create your account by editing your profile right here and then putting it live on the partner portal. And also be sure to join our Discord community. If you ever run into a problem, either with our webhooks or with our scenarios, you can join the partner portal and then or you can join the community, the Discord, and many people actually reply to you there. So in order to get started, you need the blueprints. Of course, you go to members.vliegeo.com, you go to resources, and this is actually my last video. My newest video isn't on here yet, but just to give you an example, many of you guys already know this. If you click on that card, you're going to see everything you're going to need in order to set this up. So you can just download the zip file, extract those blueprints, and then you can import them into make.com, which we're going to do right now. All right, so how does this work with Vapi? Most of you guys already know this because if you're at the point where you're trying to white label Vapi, you've probably already built your agent, connected it to at least a Vapi phone number, or even imported your own Twilio phone number into the system. Now, these are the two options that you actually have. It's either you buy a phone number directly in the Vapi dashboard or a Vapi phone number and you're not connecting it to your Twilio at all, or you're going to import a phone number from your own Twilio account. So if you made a Vapi account and you go to dashboard.vapi.ai, you click on platform and then phone numbers right here. You have these two options. Now, I have not added my credit card details in this environment right now because we're not actually going to buy a Twilio, a Vapi phone number. We're going to import one from Twilio, and it gives you some advantages: more countries, more regions, and some flexibilities in how you set up your phone numbers and how you white label it, of course. So if you were to import a phone number from Twilio, this is the screen that you're going to see, and you're going to need a few things. So you're going to need your Twilio phone number, of course. It's going to have to know what is your account SID and what is your authentication token. So I'll quickly show you guys what that looks like. Again, many of you guys have already made your Twilio account, but if you haven't, go to twilio.com, make an account, go to console.twilio.com, click on your account, and then you're going to see something like this. This is the account dashboard. It's actually going to contain that account SID and that authentication token. But where's the phone number? Well, that's something that you actually have to buy and create. And there's a big problem with importing VAPI Twilio phone numbers into your VAPI environment directly, and that's that it doesn't technically import your phone number, although that is a little bit of an easier phrasing. What it does is it shows your phone number in the dashboard, but actually connects it to the VAPI voice calling system. So what it does is it needs your authentication token and your SID and the phone number in order to send a request to Twilio to ask to send all information, so inbound calls and status updates, to their server, such that they can respond with this is what to say and this is how to reply and to end the conversation, all of those things. So this is the call handler, but it doesn't remove your phone number from Twilio and import it into VAPI. It's just a connection that VAPI makes with Twilio. And the problem with that is if the if you're sending this to your client, even on a white label basis, and they want access to those phone numbers, they want to log in to Twilio, or they have their own Twilio, for example, or they want to create their own Twilio account, and they're going to click on that phone number, then they're going to see exactly this. So api.vapi.ai, and that's a problem if you're trying to white label the API solution. So what you're going to need to do is actually replace this webhook, the Post webhook, with your own webhook. And what we're going to do in this video is replace it with a make.com webhook. So there's actually 2 levels to this, or you could probably say 3 levels. Unwhite labeled would be just directly sending all of the data and information to the VAPI webhook, which means it's going to be right in your screen. It's going to say vapi.ai. That's your first option. The second one would be creating a middleware or a man in the middle with make.com. So basically what we're going to do, and that's the topic of this video, is send all of the information that Twilio wants to send to VAPI into to our webhook instead, and then send that information to VAPI, and then whatever VAPI replies with, we're going to send back to Twilio. But in that case, of course, this is going to look like a make.com URL. If you want a completely customized domain, so you want to use your own domain, that's actually something I talk about at the end of this video. I've made a resource for that, where you can use Cloudflare, which does require some coding, but you're going to need a Cloudflare worker in order to make that man in the middle connected to your own domain and have it say, in our case, Flireo AI, for example, instead of VAPI AI. But that's something at the end of the video. Let's first make sure that we replace that VAPI webhook with something like a make.com webhook. So before we're going to do that, I'm actually going to show you guys what it would look like if you were to import that phone number directly into VAPI. Now this one, this is the phone number that we're going to be importing. If you're not familiar with how to actually buy that phone number, go to Develop, United States, Phone Numbers, Manage, click on Buy a Number. There's an entire list of numbers you can browse through. You can choose your country, you can choose your region, and if you go through that buying screen, you're going to find your phone number in active numbers. You can click on it, and then you're going to see something like this. Now, your URLs that you see right here might not be empty yet. There might be something generic about Twilio, or a placeholder. You can just remove those, or you can leave them as is. It's not important because I'm first going to show you guys what it would look like if you were to do it directly, a direct import with VAPI. So we're quickly going to have to change this phone number, because as you can see right now, it's in brackets, and it should be in the format I'm going to show you right now. So it should be in this format, or else you can't import it into VAPI. So that's the first field that we're going to add, the actual Twilio phone number. And then, of course, we're also going to need that SID and that authentication token. So that's what we're going to be grabbing right here. If we go back to Twilio account dashboard, And if it loads up, we're going to see our account SID and our authentication token down there. Now, one thing is important. You don't want to share your authentication token with anyone, because if people have your authentication token, they can do all sorts of things with your account, including things that actually cost money. So that's why I'm going to do this, add that authentication token off screen, because I don't want to share it with anyone on YouTube. And then if I add the authentication token, then below that you can also add a label. This is just the name that you're going to give your phone number, and could be anything. In this case, I'm just going to call it like and subscribe. All right, like and subscribe, and then click import from Twilio. And then it's going to be added to your environment like this. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to directly connect it to an existing assistant. I'm not going to build an assistant in this video. The purpose of this video is just creating that middleware, creating that webhook in between. So I'm just going to use a random appointment setter, create assistant, and not edit anything. Right, and then publish that assistant, and then connect it to that phone number. Mary. All right, that's perfect. All right, so this is what it would look like in any case, because you can't change much in the Vapi dashboard, and you probably shouldn't, because if you're white labeling, your clients are not going to be logging into the Vapi dashboard. But this, if you're not white labeling the Twilio side, then this is actually what it's going to look like in your Twilio environment. So if you go to active numbers, you click the phone number that we just imported into Vapi, or just imported, we connected it to Vapi. Then if you look at the webhooks, both the status update webhook, but also the inbound caller webhook is going to say something like vapi.ai. And of course, that's a problem. If you're white labeling this and your client wants access to these phone numbers, wants to manage them, then they're going to see this immediately in their face, and you're probably not going to want that. So what we're going to do is actually put a man in the middle. We're going to use make.com for that in this video, because this is a no-code video. If you are familiar with coding, at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a resource for that, where you can set up Cloud Worker, Cloudflare Worker, and it can act as a man in the middle, and you can use your own domain for that. It's a bit more advanced, but yeah, this is something that we're just going to set up in probably 5 to 10 minutes. We only require 2 very specific blueprints. As always with my videos, as I've said in the intro, you can find those blueprints on members.flereo.com. I always have resources there. And then you can find them right here. So it's going to be inbound call and status update. Those are the only 2 resources you're going to need in order to set this up. What we're going to do is click create a new scenario. Now, if you're not familiar with make.com, you probably are. But if you're not, go to make.com, make an account, and you can actually do this with a free account. So you don't have to subscribe to a paid account, because we're only going to run 2 scenarios at a time. And then we're going to import that blueprint. So you create a new scenario, you go to scenarios right here, create a new scenario. It's going to look something like this. Click the more button here, click import blueprints, choose file, and then of course these are the 2 files that we're going to be adding. So we do 1 file per scenario. So in this case, we're going to start with the inbound call blueprint, click save. And that's also what we're going to call the webhook. So it's going to look something like this. And what it does is all of the information from Twilio is going to be sent to this webhook. And then that webhook is going to send all of that information over to Vapi. And then that response is going to be sent to Twilio. All right, so we're going to replace this with a webhook we just created. So we created a webhook. You can call that anything. I called it inbound call, but you can call it anything you like. And then you're going to click copy address to clipboard and put it in there. So this is really important. Don't mix the 2 of these up. This is the call that comes in, and this is the call status changes. We're going to start with the first one, inbound call. Now I'll quickly explain what this actually does, although you don't have to change anything in here. This is all of the information and data that the Twilio server is going to send our webhook, and we're going to not change anything and send all of it straight to to VAPI, and then whatever VAPI responds or replies with, we're going to send back to Twilio in the body right here, so that data. Now, Twilio does not expect JSON, it actually expects application XML, so XML format. So that's why I added this header right here, that content type. It's going to be XML. I can actually show you guys what that looks like in a bit. All right, so then we're going to save that scenario. You only have to add your webhook and then everything is saved. You can turn that on and now it's live. It should already be working. If we go back, there's still one element that we have to change, and that's the call status changes. So a call comes in. This is the webhook that you're going to use in order to send that call to VAPI, such that they can pick up the phone and initiate that conversation. But if the call ends or anything happens to the call is transferred, call is forwarded, call is paused, for example, VAPI does have to know that, and all of the information is not sent through with this webhook. It's actually used with the call status changes webhook. And if you remove this and not replace it, then one thing that could happen is that your VAPI voice agent will not know that a conversation has ended, and it will still keep on talking or still be live, even though someone has hung up the phone. So that's something we actually have to tell the agent. The person has hung up the phone. You can stop your call, because if you don't do that, your agent is still going to be live and is still going to incur charges and use your credits, even though that's not necessary. And we also want to white label that, of course, because now it says api.vapi.ai. Want to change that into ours. Right, so we're going to go here, click import blueprint once more, and this blueprint just looks exactly the same like the other one. So we're just going to import the status update JSON. It's going to look exactly the same, but it is not exactly the same, because there's a slight. If you put the two of these next to each other, there's a slight edit to them. Not even sure if that is relevant, if VAPI uses that, but just to be sure, we're going to create a new scenario for that, and then add a webhook and call it exactly the same as the scenario. Now, of course, you can call this anything. This just helps me keep track of my webhooks. Status update. All right, save that. Copy address to clipboard. And then that's the webhook that we're going to use in the status update. Save that configuration. So now we only have the make.com webhooks in the call comes in and the status update changes or status call changes fields. And then all information is going to be sent to our make.com scenarios, which are going to send it to VAPI, which is then going to return it to Twilio. And this is actually all we have to do. Everything should now be live, and you only have to set this up once. You don't have to set this up per phone number. You can use the exact same webhook for every single phone number that you've made. So every status update will be the same webhook, and every inbound call is also going to be the same webhook. So you can use it for any of those. And then if we go back, we can actually look at them in order to make sure that they work fine. So we're going to go here. This is what it's going to look like. And now I'm going to, of course, make a call in order to show you guys that it works and what it looks like. So back in a bit. Right, so here we are. You guys might already know, but I use my phone for recording these videos. So that's why I quickly had to switch to the webcam in order to make this call. So we're going to call the phone number that we just connected to our middleware. I'm going to show you guys first that it works and also how it runs the scenario. So let's make the call.
Hello, this is Mary from Mary's Dental. How can I assist you today?
All right, so this is Mary from Mary's Dental. This is just the basic assistant that VAPI made. And as you can see, everything went through the webhook. So all of the information from Twilio went through in this webhook. We sent all of it to VAPI. VAPI gave us a response and sent it back to our webhook. So Twilio actually knows that the call was picked up and it can log it correctly. And then the same thing, of course, with, I'm actually showing you guys this, but my screen was in front of it. All right, here we are. So the inbound call. All right, so here we are. This is the inbound call. scenario, we just ran it, and this is what it looks like. So I pick up the phone, it sent all of that information it got all of the information in the webhook, we sent all of it to Vappy. Vappy replied with what the agents would reply with, and then all of that information was also sent back to Twilio so that Twilio can actually log it correctly and know that this call went through, everything was done correctly. And the same thing, of course, with our status update scenario. So that's a great thing. Now you know how to actually white label your phone numbers in the Twilio environment such that your clients can actually log into Twilio and you don't have to be afraid about them finding out your Vappy. You're using Vappy for your systems since you're white labeling it, if you're white labeling it. So that's what that solution is for. And if we go to status update, the same thing will also be happening here. So this is probably the status update that the call has ended. We can quickly look at it right here. Right, call status completed. So that means that if it says error, for example, something went wrong, call status completed just tells Vappy, hey, this call has ended, and the connection to the agent. So there you have it, the status update and inbound call scenarios. And these two things are going to be the exact same for every single phone number that you're going to add to your Twilio account. All right, so one big thing that I actually want to tell you guys about at the end of this video is our 2025 AI Advantage Kit. This is our new campaign because our last campaign, without even promoting it, went really quickly. Some of you guys might have seen it. I just added some secret insider links into some places in my bio and in the video resources and also in the video descriptions. And like 200 people, nearly 200 people actually signed up just by clicking those secret links without me actually promoting it on my LinkedIn and in my YouTube. And that's why that insider white label campaign that we did went really quickly. And some of you guys might not haven't even seen what came out of it. So that's the reason why we actually wanted to do something new, something even more powerful. And that's our 2025 AI Advantage Kit. So what it means and what it is we've built a lot of things that we actually sell to clients in Make.com, in Airtable, and different platforms. For example, the OpenAI Assistant API with Twilio, WhatsApp Business API, all of those things, you name it. And it's all templatized and put into that 2025 Advantage Kit. So this is a new campaign that I'm introducing in this specific video. And this is the first time that I'm actually also sharing a campaign in one of my videos. So this is a system that we actually sell for over $5,000 to clients. And it has everything you actually need in order to build this agent quickly and improve on it, iterate on it, and it's completely yours when you get this kit. So how it works is we have our Vlireo Insider program. Now, about 180 people have already signed up to that program with our last campaign. It's just a free sign up in order to get to become a Vlireo Insider. And the advantage you have is that when we launch this kit for sale, you will have that discount. So instead of $450, it's going to be $337.50. And then also you will have the opportunity of booking a mastermind session with me for 60 minutes in order to go through that kit, how to implement it, how to actually use it, how to set it, and how to prepare yourself for 2025. So only the people who actually signed up for this Vlireo Insider program, which will close at December 23rd. So it's about 13 days from now. I can't guarantee that you can actually sign up to the Vlireo Insider program after that date, but only the people who are part of that Vlireo Insider program will be able to book that add-on, which is the 60-minute mastermind session with me. Also, one element on it is the white label option. This is completely free, of course, because we're going to actually build together with you or your team or your business in order to deliver AI projects to your clients. So if there's custom projects, if there's advanced projects, or you just want to use the AI Advantage Kit, have us do the work, then you can get that white label add-on if you're quick. Because in our last campaign, we also did a white label program with our Flereo insiders, and we had to like close that in the same day because it filled up our entire available slots for our white label capacity. So for now, only 7 slots are available, which means we only have room for 7 partners who can actually work with us on a continuous basis, where you have a client, you can hire us and then mark up our services as a white label on a white label basis, have us join those meetings and work intensively with our team in order to deliver advanced AI voice agents to your clients on a reliable basis. So there's only 7 slots available for that on the next campaign launch. And also there's different other benefits that you'll have if you're an insider. So early access to all future Flereo kits. So all of the kits that we're ever going to release on Flereo, to Flereo insiders or to the world at all, you're going to have special discounts and early access, and also direct access to our development team for personalized guidance. If you're ever in need, if you ever have big trouble with your Flereo kits, you can actually reach out to our team as a Flereo insider, and also the option for a mastermind session with me in order to position yourself for 2025, and the ability to white label our services. Now, I do have to mention again, there's only 7 slots available for that. And last time we did that, it ran out really quickly because, of course, even we have a maximum capacity to work. Now, one very specific thing that you have to keep in mind is that moment that you're watching this video up until December 23rd, is the time where you can sign up to that Flereo Insiders platform. After that date, you can no longer sign up and you don't have access to that mastermind session, and no access to discount, no access to early access, and also no possibility of applying for that white label partnership that we have 7 slots for. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're watching this video, you can go to this link, which is at flereo.com/insiders. It will also be in the description and will also be in the video resources. And then you can just sign up and reserve your spot. So of course, as I've said, Flereo Insiders is completely free. We do have a maximum amount of slots, and we also do have an ending date, which is December 23rd. I can't even say that we will ever open that up in the future again. It might actually be a one-time thing, our Flereo Insiders. So that's something you can sign up for, just to lock in your place and have that opportunity on December 23rd, because the actual AI Advantage Kit is going to drop in December 23rd, 2024, and you will be able to use your Flereo benefits up until 2025. So that means that when we drop it on December 23rd, you'll have until January 1st on 2025 to actually use those benefits as a Flereo insider. After that date, no matter if you're a Flereo insider or not, everyone will have the same offer for our AI Advantage Kit. And of course, if we have future kits, then you will still have access to those because you will stay an insider, but you will have to wait for a future kit, and also those will probably have a limited time for insiders. So I really highly encourage you to actually reserve your spot on the Flereo Insider program. Go to flereo.com/insider, and to give you a quick tease of what is in there, here's an overview of those files in that AI Advantage Kit. So you will have the Make.com blueprints, which is going to look similar to this. It has a bunch of features that you can add to your agents, and the great thing about this Make.com blueprint set is that it's just not just random blueprints thrown at you from a directory. This is actually a set of blueprints that all fit together in order to build a very specific and extensive agent. So that means that this agent can book a meeting, get history from your client from Airtable, leave a note, outbound call from a message tool. So that means that this agent is omni-channel. This is an omni-channel agent, which means it can communicate flawlessly through phone, through text, and through email. All three of those sources. So it will have memory across devices. It will have the ability to execute the same functions across devices. So for example, I first make a call, I book a meeting, I get a text confirmation in my messages, I reply to that text, I get an answer to that reply, could be something generic, could be anything, or I could reschedule that meeting. Then I can call back to my agent in order to reschedule it again, or just ask when is my meeting, and then I get a confirmation via email, and then you can actually reply to that email and then get a confirmation for it that way. So that's great. So through emails, through text, and also through voice, that is what this AI Advantage Kit will allow you to do. So all of these blueprints. Now, there's also a WhatsApp agent. There's also an opportunity to update info. So you can have a text agent that can update the info of your client, which means that first, if you have a call and they want to update their email address, they want to update their phone number, they want to update their name or their company name, either through call, through email, through text, the agent can actually do that. Also, this agent can recognize which data points have changed. For example, if a client says, my new phone number is, you can call me on this phone number, and it's not consistent with the phone number that it has in the database, the Airtable database in this case, we can actually choose to execute that function and to update that phone number dynamically without even asking for permission. Of course, there's also an option where you prompt it to ask for permission before it updates that information. So it's a completely transient and autonomous agent. Also, server URL, of course, is going to check your calendar. It's going to input that directly into your agent, such that when the agent picks up the phone, it's going to be able to pick up that call and execute that function. It can call from a customer list. So that means that you have it connected to your Airtable, and in the Airtable you can add a button where you can make the AI call that lead from that button. Also connected to a form, so a form on your website, instantly add it to that, and also call from message tools, so your agent can actually make a call to a client if it asks the agent to do that either via email or via text. All of those things are included. Of course, it can also leave a note for someone in your team, and it can get history. So that means that your agent can look at a more extensive set of logs. So how it works is your agent has the past few interactions or the last interaction. It's going to get that immediately inside of its prompt. Now, if there's something that happened 2 years ago and somewhere in the logs, it can actually execute that function, get history, get the entire history of logs with that client, and based on that, give a reply with insane memory, so like years back. So it can actually have incredible memory, but also utilized in a way where it's not going to impact your AI's ability to execute on it. What else is in there? Airtable tables. So that means all of the tables that you're going to need for your Airtable setup, and also what the field types are per table. Is a very concise and specific instruction manual for that. And then also the Airtable scripts. So there's certain scripts that you're going to use in your Airtable base, which is going to be initiating cold calls from the interface, and also update call history automation. So that means all of the call history is extracted and pulled from your VAPI AI environment and is going to be imported into the Airtable base with just a click of a button, or every 30 minutes, every 60 minutes, every day, whatever you would like. All of that is inside the AI Advantage Kit, and it really situates you to get that leg up on the competition in 2025 and build really competitive, professional, advanced agents. So be sure to check that out. In any case, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it helped you. I think this white label solution is a great addition to your VAPI AI agent strategy. And yeah, if you liked it, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, and I hope to see you in the Discord community, or at least the members community at members.fligeo.com. In any case, thank you very much, and yeah. To the next one.